Hello, and welcome to Let's Play Nioh, Episode 6, The Silver Mine Writhes. Before we get onto that, we're going to do some submissions actually on camera. First, we will be dueling with Tachibana Muneshige. This is basically the boss fight over again, except he's a lot tougher. Like with the boss fight from before, I'm using water to deal extra damage because he's weak to it. He's resistant to lightning. I brought a Water Guardian Spirit even to help aid with if I get my living weapon and with water damage. And I'm wearing the Vassal armor, which has lightning resistance since he uses lightning. This fight isn't too much different from its original counterpart, but the original version is definitely much easier. This may not be the last time we fight Muneshige either. But there we go. All previous boss tactics apply here.
Con Bey殿が船員を手配してくださった。わしは大阪におられる家康様へ石田方の動きを伝えに参る。早速毛利へ向かう長政殿と共にリーフデ号で大阪に向かうことにいたそう。
Umi-Bozuじゃー！横領の類は苦手での。
何をしておる！はよ あのあやかし、噂に聞く海坊主。いかにお主とて歯が立つまい。リーフデ号もひどいありさまじゃ。ひとまず秋によるとしよう。長政殿は親族にあたる平岡頼勝殿の調略に出向くとのこと。船が修理されるまで身動きは取れぬし、毛利の調略を手伝ってくれ。あれが石田の家臣筆頭、島左近殿。敵にはしたくない相手よ。しかし左近殿でも毛利の調略は難しかろう。
We'll be doing one more submission on camera, the Guardian of the Underworld. This is to show off another level that is used mostly for submissions. It is the bridge to the Underworld, where spirits of the dead may mingle with the spirits of the living. You'd read that if you like. That's why I've been leaving in certain loading screens. I try to edit out the just blackness. But if there's something to read, I generally leave it in to allow people to read it. This submission is very simple. It's just about fighting a bunch of yokai in a sort of gauntlet. I mostly just wanted to show off this area so you get a look at it. We may be returning here later on, in fact. Now it's time to start up the main mission, Silver Mine Writhes. We're going here under the request of the Kikkawa, which the Kikkawa are a sort of subordinate clan to the Mori Clan. Motonari Mori had two of his sons take over the nearby clans as their leaders. Originally, the Mori Clan were but vassals to, I believe it was the Ochi Clan? Oki Clan? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Could even be Ouchi. Or Ouchi. Probably that one. But the Silver Mine. Welcome to the Blight Town of Nioh. This level just frankly sucks in my opinion. It has a mechanic where you can turn on big fans that will suck all of the poison out of an area, allowing you to go through it. if you're about to fall off a ledge, press X right away in the opposite direction of the ledge to get back up. Otherwise, you can end up falling to your death in a lot of cases. Right here, I would not die, but I would fall into a pit of poison, which I'll be going into soon enough anyway. Don't ask me how these fans operate. Let's just assume magic. A lot of this level I kind of just run through because of, again, I think this level really sucks. I just don't find it enjoyable fighting in a lot of scenarios. Like this I don't mind. Fighting up on top of bridges and things isn't too bad. But the poison is a bit bothersome. Also, do let me know in the thread if there are any sort of figures from history you want me to talk about in relation to this. To talk a little bit about the Tachibana. The Tachibana came out of a different clan. They were Otomo retainers. And the leader of the Tachibana, Dosetsu, went by a different name, which I'm trying to remember. It was Becky something. Becky with 2 K's and an I. But he had a daughter, Ginchio, and Dosetsu died early on in her life. She had to take on the clan at the age of 6. Eventually, Muneshige was actually adopted into the clan as a part of the family and then married Ginchio. But he did not take over the clan right away, and there I go, dying, because I hate wheel monks. One of my most hated enemies in the entire game. Muneshige also has a mistress named Lady Yachiko. We talk a little bit about her. There is also a mission where you have to get an old charm, and you are told by Lady Ginchio that it's for Muneshige, but upon getting it, she actually delivers it to Lady Yachiko. And some people wonder if Ginchio is just like bisexual, if she likes Lady Yachiko too. There are also ideas that since Ginchio can't have a child, that it's to bring luck for Yachiko for having a child and an heir to the Tachibana, or as thanks for putting up with Muneshige. As far as I'm concerned, all seem like valid interpretations. I don't know if there's any actual history to that, though. One way or another. But it would not be totally out of the question if she was bisexual, because if that was kind of, like, sort of accepted back in this time. Oda Nobunaga famously had a ward that he was in love with. Supposedly Shingen Takeda, or Takeda Shingen as well. Although I haven't found anything really about that, other than just saying that he was. So take that with a grain of salt. To talk a little bit about Kuroda Con Bey. As is mentioned, he was imprisoned by Oda Nobunaga. The person who actually freed him was not Hideyoshi, it was Hanbei, Takanaka Hanbei, I believe his name. He was known as a very feminine samurai who dressed a bit oddly. He was another chief strategist that helped Hideyoshi in his rise to power, similar to Kanbei. Kanbei and Hanbei were seen as the military geniuses behind Hideyoshi. Con Bey is also noted for being against the invasion of Korea in this game. I don't know if the real Con Bey was against it or not, but I don't see any reference to him being involved in it, so it's quite a possibility. I don't believe Hanbei was either. The invasion of Korea, of course, being a little bit successful at first and then like a total military blunder. Also, a pretty evil thing to do. And Wheel Monk. This is where I just say screw this and open up the shortcut behind this so I don't have to deal with the Wheel Monk. The armor I am wearing is actually Muneshige's. It's called the Warrior of the West armor. I quite like it. It looks snazzy and has very good stats. Right after this yokai, we'll be heading straight to the boss. If you hit yokai like this in the head, you can actually stun them and make them fall down so you can get a critical hit on them. So to top it off, for a level I don't really like, here's a boss I don't really like, the Great Centipede. It is weak to wind, supposedly, resistant to earth, poison, and paralysis, which makes sense. It's made of stone, it fires paralysis, it is full of poison. I don't really know how to dodge its pincer attack. When it's coming towards you and its mandibles are clacking, I just block that, because I have not found a way to dodge that because it just keeps coming at you until it hits something. The fight is mostly straightforward. It'll just rear up and either fire poison at you, fire paralysis at you, or slam down on you. You can just tank the poison if you want to. When you deal enough damage to its segmented parts, they're like crabs or spiders, and they just crawl away. They can sit down in spots and leave big exuding clouds of poison. The paralysis is easy enough to dodge. You can dodge both the poison and paralysis very easily just on reflexes. It's his slamming down of his body that's a bit tougher. And the boulders he fires, again, can be blocked or just easily dodged. When he rears up that far back, though, that's when he's going to slam down. I like to fight him up here, outside of the poison. It's actually not the best arena right here to fight him in, because it's harder to dodge to the sides from his body side. It should be mentioned, this entire recording I did while on a sleeping pill, basically drunk off my ass from taking it. So you're also not seeing my best play against the Great Centipede. I'm going to have to remember to not let myself in a sleep-deprived, sleep pill-induced state start recording for Nioh. while it is resistant to Earth, Fuze Ushi is a pretty good guardian spirit to bring for this because of his poison resistance and extra health. When you've dealt enough damage to the Centipede and it's already segmented, it'll run away to go and hide for a moment and gain back all of its different segments. You can just get free hits in during that. It's not a very tough boss, just mostly an annoying one. And that was the Silver Mine Writhes. I'm also going to be showing off yet another submission, the Magitama of Fire. Or Magatama of Fire. This is to help our blacksmith with getting better fires for her smithy. She is the daughter of Masamune. Or was it Muramasa? Now I'm getting them screwed up. Because there's Date Masamune. I believe it's Muramasa. But the mission is just go through the mines again, and then at the end, fight this big-tongued, flaming weirdo. I don't remember what these are called. Are these the Onryuki? Or not Onryuki. There's so many names, and I can't remember them all. This is an enemy type that I find frustrating in certain encounters because they're hard to fight when there's them plus anything else. Just alone, they're not too bad. Now, Senji Tome is our blacksmith. She can forge things for you. She can refashion things. Refashioning makes it so that one piece of gear looks like another. So I could take my warrior, the West armor, and keep its stats, but have it look like the top hat from the Tower of London, or a great helm, or some other form of kabuto. You can also buy and sell gear from her. You can dismantle objects that are no longer useful to you. Then you get raw resources and materials. I often dismantle all of my weapons so that I can get better pieces for making gear later. I don't use the smith too much myself, but from what I've heard, the smith is very useful in New Game Plus, where you're going to be wanting to forge some really heavy-duty armor. You can also upgrade pieces of equipment to make them stronger, using another strong piece of equipment to improve them. Also, this is what I mean by not finding early on forging all that useful, is usually the gear that you want at the time requires rare resources that you don't have until you beat the bosses that will drop the armor that's already better than what you wanted to make. Now, if I remember right, this is sort of taboo that she is the blacksmith. Because, if I remember right, the kami of smithing had some sort of is forbidding women from using the smithy in Japan at the time. I could be totally wrong on that, but I swear I remember reading about that. Also, I'm about to go buy a ton of antidotes so that I can use up 50,000, which will get me a favor from the blacksmith so that I can unlock the barber options. Now we can give William some very few haircuts and beard cuts. I prefer him clean shaven with short hair, but let me know in the thread what sort of hairstyle you want and beard style. But that was episode 6. See you next time.